What is going on, Geeks and Gamers? What is Jay doing?
All my cables are all like twisted up over here in 1 second.
What's the big? It's not like there's a countdown on the screen that tells you exactly how long you have to. You got to be back
leaned
on
over there and I was like, oh shoot, it was like pulling. It was like pulling. So I was like, what the freak is going on over there? So
because you got some of those big headphones.
Because I was yeah, I got problems. That's all.
I can't
was
do
playing
that
video
shit.
games and like I didn't change them. I'm looking for my Slims, but oh, here they are. All right, I got it. They're everywhere. All right, whatever.
That's what I like. I don't like the big ass fucking over the ear head. I just can't stand them, man. My head gets hot.
Yeah,
like
my ears get hot, but it was like when I play video games, I like to hear the sound.
I hear you. I hear that. Yeah, if you're playing video games, it makes sense. But anyway, good morning. It's a new week, which means we get it started off right with Ryan and Jay. How many dailies did we do yesterday or last week?
3.
A lot of them. 3?
We were supposed to do 2, and then I showed up on Wednesday.
That's right. You never know.
Like, hey, I'm back again. So
you never know exactly how it's gonna work here. We have a plan, and then the very we literally announced the plan, and the very next day it changed.
It changes, yeah.
That's what happens. But we do have plans in the next couple weeks for Orlando MegaCon. Jay, are you excited to see everybody?
I am excited. I'm excited. I think the most stressful part is like the planning. So, you know, everybody texts everyone and tries like, hey, you're gonna be here, you're gonna be there, you're gonna be here. And just like Ryan said, we usually have a plan and it just gets thrown out the window the last minute. So like, where are we supposed to be? So
and I usually have like zero fucking patience for
I know. That's why I usually stand next to Ryan.
Right. Yeah. Like when we
because when I like to watch it happen.
Bro, when we do these things, we get a lot of people together. When people are like late, oh my God, it fucking pisses me off. Like, because there's a lot of shit that you can't control in life. Being on time is something that with unless some crazy exception, like you actually get into an accident or something like that, right? You shouldn't be fucking late to things, especially when there's other people that are relying on you to be there on time. That shit drives me fucking crazy. And if you are late and you like hold everything up, I will probably resent you for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
That's just how it is typically.
I usually like to stand next to Ryan when things like that happen. And if I am late, I text him first and I usually make something up. Hey, there's like a dead whale on the middle of the road. I can't drive past. I'll be there in 10 minutes. So I think the only time I was late was meeting Drew Hernandez at Universal Studios. I think that was the only time. But
you were late, yeah.
I was late. So I
a lot of people were late that day, and it pissed me the fuck off.
Yeah.
Because I had bought donuts for everybody.
Yeah. I had 2 of those, by the way.
Yeah. I like try to do a nice thing and everybody's fucking late. So I'm just sitting there holding these damn donuts for forever.
You want to know what's crazy? That I don't know why this happens, but so we got MegaCon weekend, right? The G&G panels on Saturday. Going to be a lot of cool guests. We got Rippaverse coming in. They're going to be there every day. We got some FNT people coming in. They're going to be there as well. On top of that, you know, Hayden Christensen always brings a massive crowd. Gina Carano will be there. Ewan McGregor. There's a whole Star Wars thing happening. MegaCon is usually pretty packed and all the hotels get booked up quick. But on top of that, Ryan, I didn't even know if you knew this. This is just really going
to happen.
The Pro Bowl is going to happen. And there are rumors now that Taylor Swift is going to be there to do something at the Pro Bowl. I don't know why. Those are some of the things that are leaking out, but I don't know if that's true. But that is going to be in Orlando. So that's going to cause traffic issues. But on top of that, even worse, the largest, I don't know what you call it, cheerleading competition. The largest that
Disney thing they're doing
is happening Saturday and Sunday as well. And all the like low budget, like Disney resorts and others are all booked up because there's going to be thousands of people competing over at the Wide World of Sports. So on top of that, Pro Bowl, competition, MegaCon, Orlando that weekend is going to be...
It's going to be a party.
like sitting in traffic is going to be legendary. That's all I have to say. Traffic's bad already.
It ain't bad. You just got to know what time it's going to be.
Right.
So,
But other than that, it's like this is going to make
driving by the Disney area around, I don't know, like 5 or 6 p.m. You should probably assume that it's going to be backed up.
Yeah, just go to a bar or go somewhere and sit till at least like 8.
Or don't drive then. Yeah,
that's true.
Drive sometime. Drive a different time. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a blast. There's gonna be a lot of people here. We're gonna see a lot of you guys that are in the chat. We're gonna see a lot of different content creators, and who knows? Who knows what might happen? Someone says, Ryan, your mic is fucked up. Is that true?
You sound good to me. Sounds good on my end.
Sounds like you're retarded, Johnny.
Johnny,
no,
182E.
I don't know what's going on. Maybe it was a little weird for a second.
Maybe you had a clip. I didn't hear it. So
check. Yeah,
everyone says no. You sound fine. So someone was just spinning some yarn.
It's all right, Johnny. You're good in my book, buddy. All right. Anyway, let's get to some of these super chats already. Godzilla's Greaser for 5. Happy 89th birthday to the king himself, Elvis Presley.
Godzilla's Greaser?
Yeah.
I took that the wrong way.
Apparently you did. Isn't it crazy that Elvis would only be 89?
If he was alive today?
Yeah, it doesn't even seem that old, man.
Do you think if he was still alive, he would be like, would he be a scooter riding obese person? He was heading that way. He liked fried peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason you've never seen any like fat person who's like 70 plus years old, right? They die pretty quick.
Yeah.
You don't see like a 400-pound 80-year-old.
That's a good point.
I wonder why. Health at any size is not real. Just saying. Warwick, on the other hand, I don't want to fucking live till I'm 80. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna be so tired of this world by like 50. Give me 50 good years. Once I start slowing down, my brain starts slowing down. Just fucking put me out of my misery. That's how I feel.
No.
Warwick of Legion Cast, member for 21 months, with a couple J emojis, a poo trip emoji, a Canadian bear emoji, and a blue-haired J emoji.
I appreciate it.
Jay's Milkshake brought me to the yard for $1. Thank you. Tobias Nexus for $10. Finally saw Godzilla -1. Easily the best film of the last few years. Also, anyone get recommendations for good editing software for audio visual? I want to put the podcast over gameplay of GTFO. I mean, I don't know about good. I don't really need crazy editing stuff.
Yeah.
I use Filmora.
Same. I use Filmora.
I use Wondershare Filmora, and it's for dummies like us who don't really need to do too much. Works fine for me.
Grab video, move over, trim out the ends. That's pretty much it.
Trim out the ends. That's what we do. That's what we do.
Woo.
But yeah, that's all I ever use. It's all I know how to use. I'm too dumb to do anything else. Gary's Beard Dingleberries for 5. The cast of Vampire Diaries was shredded for 8 seasons, but Patterson refused to bulk up for Vengeance Man. Darkwing Duck is more Batman than him. Yeah, I think, again, there was a lot of like disinformation out there about when Robert Pattinson would make a joke about, I hate working out. And people would be like, he's refusing to work. No, he was doing shit all the time.
Yeah.
So, but again, stuff spreads and sticks there. So, Bill Prime Gaming for $5. Ryan is the GOAT. Jay is a silly goose.
Honk. I don't know. Don't gooses honk? I broke Ryan this morning on a Monday.
Yeah, they do honk. They do honk. They do honk.
Silly goose.
Taker for $5. Jay, on George's stream yesterday, it seems like you were introduced. You said nothing. Then you had your outro. Did you catch anything from Jay, Ryan? I don't think I caught anything. But
no, listen, man, on panels like that, I look, it was truly an honor to even be invited. to a panel like that with such an amazing group of YouTubers that I look up to. Like even Ryan knows. Like I watch all their stuff, and you try to. It's what they do is incredible with Gary. I mean, Dan. These people are heading to 1 million subscribers. Ryan will probably be at 500,000 pretty soon. In a year, so it's incredible. So it's like I got on and I'm like, nobody wants to hear what I have to say. So I made a couple little points here and there, and I was like, I told Mexican Iron Man, who was running the ins and outs of people, when he sent me the link, I said, look, I'll just stay 10 minutes because I know they had a ton of guests to try to get on. So I was like, I'll just get back in row. I'll come in, say, hey, congratulations, George, and then that'll be it. I don't really know what to say. So on those streams, that's why I don't do well. Whenever I do get invited to FNC, I just sit there because I don't know what to say. You guys say everything perfectly. It's like, what am I going to add? Like, yeah, that's great. Pretty much what I do here on the daily. Ryan usually says something like, yeah, I agree. So I got it down pat. So,
So there was a couple times I was laughing because there was a couple times on the stream where I saw you try to say something and you got interrupted, and then you were just like,
I just kind of like, what are you gonna do, man?
Yeah. So I noticed it when it happened. I was laughing when it happened. So I thought about it today. Yeah. Yeah. Usually I don't have too much time I honestly don't have too much time to go on too many streams, but I was briefly able to go on Carol Lynn's show, ironically, right when you popped in there as well.
I know.
I disappointed Jay by showing up
right
as he made his big appearance on Kara's show. And then
that's the best time for me to come in is when it's almost over, because usually the big dogs are already gone, and they've said everything, and you're just kind of like, hey man, I'm here. I'll help you. I'll help close the show with you. Pretty much it.
Yeah, so then we did that, and then we're on George's show. So yeah, did a couple.
I was on Vets Talk too, and they had Gary. He sent me a link. He's like, "Hey man, you want to pop in?" I was like, "What am I gonna add to that?" Like, let Gary talk. Like, that's why he's here. So I just showed up and smiled, and I was like, "All right, I gotta go." Do the same thing.
Somebody in Rumble chat, St. Bowser says, "Just make a pun." That's what Chrissy does.
Yeah, I'm not good at that. So I wish.
Yeah, Chrissy's pretty quick on her feet.
Yeah, it's like kind of her job, isn't it?
Yeah, she's a professional comedian, so she better be funny. It's like the one rule, I believe. Unless you're hosting the Golden Globes, then you don't have to be. I might make a video about that later once I get together a couple, because I didn't watch it obviously, but I've seen some clips going around of some of the jokes just bombing and like reactions of people in the crowd like putting their head in their hands and shit. Not because it's like a Ricky Gervais type of like is making him uncomfortable because of the jokes, but more so like he's just not fucking funny and they're cringing. Yeah. There was like a Harrison Ford reaction at one point that was pretty good. So.
Really? I just saw the clips on Twitter. I'm not the point. Does anybody care at all about award shows anymore? Like at all? I think I remember years ago, my grandparents would want to watch like the Oscars or something, but like back when it was, I don't know, when it was different. Now it's just, who cares? Like they can't get any views or traction. But yeah, like the only part of these award shows is like when someone gets slapped in the face, or like what you were saying, like just cringe stuff that you can find. Usually that'll be on the formerly known as Twitter app. So,
well,
did you see Rachel Zegler's? Did you see Rachel Zegler's picture that she posted
of her like Golden Globe that she won a year ago or whatever?
Oh my gosh, she set herself up for memes on end with that.
Yeah, there was one of me in it, so I saw that.
Was it really? Oh man, I'll pull it up, man.
No, I'm good. But
I gotta see that one.
What I think it is, I actually think the reason that the award shows have like lost their luster is before social media, the award shows were like the only time we really got to see those people in a way like outside of like on the screen in the theater. Right now, of course, if you wanted to follow like tabloid news magazines and shit like that, you could try to keep up with it. But for the normal person, they used to tune in to see these stars on the red carpet, these like untouchable people who you really didn't know anything about other than they're big movie stars. And you got to see a little bit of them. You got to hear a 90-second interview from them talking about normal shit. Nowadays, with social media, with the 24/7 coverage that the people get, and with them continuing to spout off all their nonsense, one, it makes them lose their luster because people are like, God, these people are retarded. They're fucking evil. They're stupid. They're pieces of shit. They're completely out of touch. And people it's no longer special to tune in to hear them talk about something. When all you got to do is open up Twitter and see Mark Ruffalo being a retard.
Yeah.
I think that is a big reason why the award shows have just really lost all their popularity.
Yeah. That's probably correct. It's probably correct.
B-Man for 2 months. Ryan, can we have a poll asking the viewers if they want Jay to always sing the intro? Yes or no?
Oh man, it's 2024. Let's do something new. That's so 2023. Maybe we should change the intro. You know, make it a little more different. I don't know.
What do you mean?
Like change the music maybe. It's like a new year. Maybe. I don't think. Does anybody even care?
Let's see what we got. Do we have anything else here?
Let's go back to the standard stream.
Just a bunch of shitty fucking clips, dude. Just a bunch of trash clips here.
Oh, man, it was absolutely amazing.
That's so last year. Come on. Let's change it up.
Oh. Yeah.
Why do they have all these clips of me? They don't have any one of you?
No, I don't got, there's not a fucking single clip of me on here.
What the freak?
There's not a single clip. It's just a lot of Trump. A lot of Trump, a lot of Alex Jones. And
no!
God.
And a lot of you. You're in good company. You're in good company, Jay. Dermy Wormy for 5. Jay, was great having you on Vets Talking on Saturday. Wish you would have said something.
Exactly. I did. I said Dermy Wormy's pretty awesome. That's what I did. I said that. So, I mean, there was like 10 people on the panel, and I appreciate the invite from Adam, man. He's a good guy. But like he kept bringing people on the panel that wanted to ask, and Gary had limited time, and they just wanted to ask Gary questions. I totally get it. I'll definitely be back on. So I just was kind of like, you know, just letting them, you know, let them have a moment, you know, like it's all good.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I was just being respectful because I know Gary, he was just like, I only have like so much, and everybody was having like Lord of the Rings, detailed Lord of the Rings questions and stuff like that. And then Adam just kept bringing people in. They're like, Gary, before you go, like it started like, Gary, before you go, can I ask you this? Gary, before you go. So it was like, what am I gonna do? Like hop in and yeah, I didn't want to interrupt that. It's awesome when you get, listen, I love it when Ryan hops in one of my live streams. It's a big deal to me. I know we stream on Geeks and Gamers, but to have them at your home base is really cool. So it's like when he finally like hops in for 10 minutes, it's like let him talk, you know, like let Ryan talk and let him get it all out, whatever, answer a few questions before he has to go. These people are busy, man. They got stuff going on. So
that's right.
So yeah, I get it. So Gary, get Gary to show up on your show. It's pretty awesome.
Arnaldo Mendoza becomes a channel member. Welcome to the 199. That's what we need to do. We need to find a new name for the 199. I've been sick of it for a year.
We need a new troll to come in and say something.
Yes, please. Got to get Jeremy's like focus like back on track to like something else, another meme that he could use. D's Webos for 199. Would you guys ever do Doomcock stream? I'm good.
He sends me a link. Why not?
Tomac for $20. For the person looking for some editing software, I use Adobe Premiere Elements. I don't know if you can get that anymore. I just needed something better than Movie Maker Live. Trying to use that as cancer. Yeah, I don't know too much about Movie Maker. I tried Adobe one time, like a free 7-day trial or something, and it was so fucking complex and convoluted. I'm like, I don't need any of this shit. Like all I need is all I need is fucking very basic chop. Let me like put an image over something.
Filmora was a one-time fee for me, so I think Adobe is a monthly subscription.
Well, Filmora for me is every year. It's like
yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. It's a 1 year shot.
Yeah, it's like $40 a year or something. So that's pretty reasonable for me. DaVinci, I know some people use DaVinci, DaVinci Resolve, but yeah, I don't need anything fancy. All right.
Yeah.
But thank you, Tomac, for the suggestion. Jay Frazier for 5. Jay and Ryan, your comments remind me of a saying. There are many old people. There are many fat people, but there are not many old fat people. Fuck George R.R. Martin. Hey, that's true. He's getting up there. He needs to lose some weight so he can take longer to write his fucking books. Maybe that's what he's been doing.
I think John Madden might have been the only one to pull it off.
Well, how old did he get?
He was up there.
He was probably fairly old.
Yeah.
And he was pretty fat, but
he wasn't scooter fat.
Yeah. He was ride a bus fat.
Yeah.
But that was more because he didn't like flying.
He didn't like flying.
He's like Jeremy. Jeremy's gonna get a bus like that. Do a country tour
with a big 199 on the side.
Yeah,
people I think he's gonna be selling dollar store trinkets.
Like he's gonna like a Trump campaign bus, basically. Jeremy does the 199 campaign all around the world.
Oh man, that's pretty funny.
But it's I guess we got to talk a little bit about Star Wars because it's just, bro, it has continued to escalate and go viral ever since New Year's, where Disney Star Wars, they were seeing how far they could go in 2024 without some kind of controversy. Turns out they couldn't even make it one day, because one day into 2024 and there's already controversy surrounding the Rey movie and then director. We've talked about this before. Why does it look like that? You can't even see anything.
All right, the screen is black.
I promise you, it's not because of Black Lives Matter. It's just happenstance.
I was getting on board.
There we go. All right, no black squares here. We're not posting black squares over here. But the Rey movie in and of itself, already people knew was kind of going to be a nightmare because it's not a character that people are interested in. It's not an actress that people are excited to come back to Star Wars. There's not a ton of Rey fans out there that are desperately asking to see Rey rebuild the Jedi Order instead of Luke Skywalker, because this is another thing that Luke Skywalker failed at in Disney Star Wars. But then this really was the little golden nugget on top, right? When Charmin Choi says one statement, not about how much she loves Star Wars, not about how excited she is to carry on George Lucas's legacy. Instead, this is what she thinks about Star Wars.
You know, I'm very thrilled about the project because I think what we are about to create is something very special. And we're in 2024 now. And I think it's about time that we had a woman come forward to shape the story in a galaxy far, far away.
And of course, that's all it took. Now, what the media, what everybody's tried to turn this into over the past week, and they're basically trying to do damage control for Disney. You've got all the normal shills out there that are essentially labeling
the first
anyone.
Woman and the first person of color
you hear that?
To direct a Star Wars film.
I don't want to hear that. Stop talking. Anyway, you basically got all these shills out there that are doing damage control for Lucasfilm, damage control for Disney Star Wars, and they're all echoing the same thing. People are just sexist because they're mad that a woman is going to direct a Star Wars movie. We saw even people like John Roca went and had a little rant, and we're talking about it, tried to link a video of mine about Patty Jenkins to try to explain why people just hate women in Star Wars. It's all a joke. And you can tell we're 2 years away from this, Jay. 2 years away from this movie actually coming out. They haven't shot a single thing yet. And already you can tell that it's a nightmare scenario for Disney and Lucasfilm, and shills are already doing desperate damage control for them. It's pathetic.
When you have someone that clip that was on CNN, that was definitely spoken like a true activist person that is not into filmmaking. There is another clip of her, I believe Anna, that Star Wars girl, posted it on her social media where she's like, I'm an accidental filmmaker. I went to school for economics. I didn't know anything about making films. And
You mean this clip right here?
Yeah, this one here.
Everything. I am a storyteller and an activist. And my body of work over the last 20 years has been guided by my activism. And every single piece of work that I've ever created has a piece of activism in it. It could be very overt or it could be covert, but it is there. And I think that as a storyteller, I'm not sure if all of you know this, but I'm not a trained filmmaker. So I never went to film school. I went to Smith College and did my undergraduate and studied economics and political science like a good Pakistani girl. And then I did my graduate studies, but also in international politics. And so I am an accidental filmmaker. But that's why I'm a storyteller, because at the heart of everything, I like to tell stories.
I like to tell stories that are all tinged with my activism in one way, shape, or form.
And you know something? If that's what she wants to do, then let her go continue to make documentaries and let her go and do her thing. But of course, something like that catches the eye of Kathleen Kennedy. Ooh, look what we have here. We don't have a filmmaker. We have an accidental storyteller that just kind of mumbled her way into making movies. Let's give her the keys to the franchise. Here you go. We're going to let you shape the awesome new Star Wars character, Rey. And take her where she needs to go. It's bad. This is freaking funny. So,
and the reality is this announcement was made 8 months ago. Now, some people who found some clips of her and knew who she was and heard her talking already knew it was going to be a nightmare. But the simple fact that a woman was announced to be doing a Star Wars movie, there wasn't some massive backlash because it was a woman. In fact, it wasn't until this clip came out on New Year's and people were like, what the fuck? Is this really what this person is saying? The person is going to direct the next Star Wars movie? That's what they're focused on. And then it was an avalanche of people finding out who this person is.
Right.
That they're a woke activist, that they haven't done anything like this in their lives, or they're not qualified for this, despite all the woke bullshit. And again, if it's your calling to do documentaries about how women, especially in the Muslim world, are oppressed and blah, 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 go for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Glad that's your calling. It doesn't qualify you in any way to be handed the reins to a multi-$100 million Star Wars project. Like, no way that should be the case. And we brought up Patty Jenkins. The reaction to Patty Jenkins was not, oh my God, I can't believe a woman's going to direct Star Wars. And you know why? Jay, do you remember the Patty Jenkins announcement when she's like rollerblading on a runway and she's like, she basically tells a story about how she's always been inspired to make a great fighter pilot movie because her dad was a fighter pilot and her dad died in service to this country. And she always wanted to find a way to do an awesome fighter pilot movie, but she could never really find the right way to do it. But then she found a way to combine her love of like dogfighting and fighter pilot shit, along with something else she loved, which was Star Wars. And she was excited to do Rogue Squadron. There was not some massive freak out about a woman directing Star Wars because it sounded like there was a good reason for her to do something like that. It's like, hey, it looks like somebody really wants to tell a cool story. Now, this is before Wonder Woman 84 came out, and it was a nightmare. This is right after Wonder Woman, basically. She didn't have anything else really big to talk about since Wonder Woman. So people weren't freaking out. They were like hesitantly excited about what it could possibly be, worried that Disney Star Wars might still be a Disney Star Wars project, but not inherently because she's a woman. Same thing with Charmin Choi. This person's unqualified, and they're a woke activist who happens to be a woman. And that happens to be the only reason Lucasfilm fucking hired her.
Exactly. Her resume is 2 episodes of Miss Marvel, the lowest watched show on Disney Plus, correct? Those were like, I think that's like her resume for
correct
directing
many of
fantasy,
which had to be reshot significantly. Yes.
This is wonderful. I mean, you just couldn't write it any better, man. Like, you really couldn't write it any better. I'm looking forward to it. Like you said, we're only 2 years away, and already, like, things are happening. Could you like? I think Lucasfilm is in a position now, unless there's a change in leadership, that I don't think they can back out of this, even if they start to feel the backlash, right? Like they couldn't back out of this now. They couldn't be like, oh man, people don't like this. We need to change directors or something, because it'll just make them look it'll make them look terrible, I guess, amongst the SJW crowd. So there, dude, I hope with everything in me, this movie gets a $500 million budget. I hope that they make up some stuff about, like, those weird leaks that are out there about what possibly could have been in this film. I just hope, like, I hope the bad person is a woman, like the bad person they got to fight is a woman. I hope Grogu's in it. I hope they find a way to put Ahsoka in it, and I think that would just be awesome. Like, for me, like, just I'm looking forward to it. I want them to just go all out with this one right here. I hope there's flashback scenes with Hayden Christensen's and Ewan McGregor and everything else. Like, I throw it all in there, man. Throw it all in there. Let's go for it. This is their chance. This is their chance right now.
I don't know if they can cancel it. It would have to be something where, like, change of leadership and they put a halt on, like, all Star Wars projects, period.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that would kind of have to be whether it's like deep financial trouble for Disney, a change in the guard, like whatever it could be. I think that's what it would take for this thing to get canceled, because
that's what I'm saying.
They're in the same position with, like, the Snow White shit or the Ekko series. Like, they virtue signaled so hard about some of these projects, about representation, about blah, 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 that if you were to pull the rug out from under them, they would be facing a massive backlash from the only people that actually still support them, right? The woke freaks that have become their entire audience.
I think it's wild because Marvel did the same type of marketing with the Marvels. First woman, person of color, director, go watch it. We're finally giving them the reins. And you know what she's going to be remembered for? The worst film, the worst ever for Marvel. That's what she'll be remembered for. That's what you set her up for. It's pretty awesome. So yeah. Let's keep it going, man. Let's just keep it going. Keep advertising. Yeah.
We're celebrating because the first Black woman to ever direct an MCU movie sets record for lowest grossing MCU movie in history. Yep. The biggest bomb in MCU history.
That's going to go right on her resume.
Hey, don't correlate those two. Don't blame her for that. That's what the reaction was immediate in the aftermath. Bob Iger did blame her, though.
Yeah, he was like, they needed supervision.
He didn't even actually, like, blame her so much as he treated her like a fucking infant. Like, well, we got to blame ourselves. We just let a toddler come in here and do whatever they want. It needs a little more supervision than that. Fucking Bob Iger.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're gonna need a lot of supervision for this woman who has no idea what they're doing. So I guess we'll see. You know who they do have, though, who I'm really happy that is a part of this entire thing? Dave Filoni.
Yeah,
Dave Filoni oversees everything in Star Wars.
Right.
He's been doing that for a long time. He's been consulting on every project within Star Wars, even going back to the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. It's not a new responsibility for him, even if it is a new title. He still had the same responsibilities. But yes, I'm very excited to see anybody try to wiggle out of, when this comes out as a nightmare, when Acolyte comes out and is a fucking nightmare. Somehow, oh, well, Dave wasn't involved in that. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, they're just putting people in place that don't have experience in, like, blockbuster or filmmaking. We saw that with Ahsoka and, like, the fight scenes and everything. I guess Dave was trying his best, or whatever he knows how to do. He was better in the animation side, because I guess he didn't really have to direct much. Just kind of let him do that. But they're setting themselves up, man, for something really special indeed. I'll say it's gonna be crazy to watch. Yeah, when does the Acolyte drops? Is it this month or is it next month?
I don't know if we've got a release date for it.
Oh, okay. We know it was early 2024.
Yeah, I think that was at one point. I still don't know if we know if that's going to drop first or Skeleton Crew. I don't think they haven't officially put out release dates on anything, as far as I know. But yeah,
we don't really have an official teaser, do we? Like, for these either. I don't remember if one. I know one leaked, I think. So
that's from Star Wars Celebration, though. Like, that's
right.
all the way back from April, and that leaked in, like, September, October, and people were spreading around like it was new. But yeah,
High Republic. There you go, guys. they're going for it with the High Republic. That sold wonders. Just wonders.
They even have like God, what's that character's name? That one of the fucking characters from High Republic that's in the books is in this series.
Is it the Wookiee?
I guess it could be the Wookiee. Vernesta Rowe or something.
Or it's all the women? Yeah.
Yeah, one of the women. I think Vernesta Rowe. I might have that name wrong because it's been so long that their names don't stick in my head because they're useless gay characters. But yeah. Anyway, Mark Schaeffer for 10. Yes, Jay. Being a DEI hire representing drunk droids should now run G&G.
Probably not a good idea.
Probably not. Razorburn, member for 3 months. Ryan, ask the goofy guy next to you if he has sunk any more little kid ships while gaming.
No, but maybe today. Maybe we'll do it today.
Master Austin, member for 10 months. Washington versus Michigan tonight. Go Dogs. I'm rooting for Michigan. I hope Jim Harbaugh pulls it out. That's what I hope. Bert, member for 21 months. Jay, drunk 3PO. Why hasn't Ryan Kindle appeared on your High Tea Thursday show? Is because it will become lower than average tea due to Ryan's appearance? Probably.
No, I didn't. Ryan has an open invitation, but I don't think a show like that appeals to him very much, where we just laugh at stupid TikToks online. And I don't know, laughing at fat people is kind of up his alley, but yeah, I like when I'm standing next to him in real life when he does it. It's pretty good. So,
let's see. Sons and Shadows, member for 5 months. Catherine Bigelow for Star Wars. These strange days for proof of quality. No one would bat an eye, would course correct, but no, rank amateur it is. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there are experienced female directors who, if they were brought in, like Patty Jenkins. Now, Patty Jenkins didn't have a ton of experience, but people were really, like, she was a big name after Wonder Woman. This is before people saw Wonder Woman 84, which she did not just direct, but she was in charge of story and all of that shit for it. But when the Patty Jenkins thing was announced, there wasn't, I can't say it was like, oh, everyone's super excited or thrilled, but there wasn't some sort of backlash because a woman was directing Star Wars.
It's if they just put a freaking amazing, if they focused on the story, it wouldn't matter who directed it. You know, if they did something pretty awesome that stuck with what Star Wars is, it would be pretty amazing. Then like, talk about a woman's credentials, you know, it would soar. But the fact that they just promote this stuff, where it's like, go watch a woman direct it, go watch a woman shape Star Wars, go watch a woman take the galaxy far, far away. And Chris Gore is 100% correct when he says that Star Wars is, they try to turn Star Wars into a girl brand, and it's failing miserably. So
they did like, that's what they've done with everything they've acquired, basically. You know. So they try to do with Marvel. It's what they've tried to do with Star Wars, and it's been an utter failure. CM Chunk, member for 8 months. I heard that John Roca went for a swim at Bass Pro over the weekend.
Guys will survive a woman directing Star Wars. They totally missed the whole point.
Yeah,
they missed the whole. It's not about a woman directing Star Wars. It's about shoving activism in a franchise to get your message across. That's, in short, what it's about.
Well, the only reason I made a video about that at all was because he got called out for basically saying, you guys are the ones who melt down anytime a woman gets put in charge of whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And Bleeding Fool responded and said, nobody freaked out when Patty Jenkins was announced for Rogue Squadron. And he's like, she actually got a lot of criticism on YouTube. Look at these videos. And posted videos from Mr. H, from Anna, and from me. But Anna and Mr. H's were after she was already, like, detached from the project, and mine was 7 months after the initial announcement. And mine was based off an interview she gave where she talked about not sticking to the source material, right? So it had nothing to do with the announcement. He just tried to shift the goalpost and ended up getting blown out of the water. But like, I get it. There's a lot of those guys who used to be really big in like the YouTube movie talk shit who are now just like completely and utterly irrelevant. So like, I get it. but I wouldn't have even fucking mentioned him if he didn't try to bring me up and use me as an example of someone criticizing Patty Jenkins after she got announced for Star Wars. Didn't fucking happen. Taker for 5. Now we need a Girl Interrupted movie poster with Jay's face on it saying Jay interrupted. Also, sad violin over Jay getting interrupted on streams.
That's okay. That's okay. I haven't learned the technique. You know, I haven't learned the technique of like button in and making sure like my point gets out there. So I don't know if there is a technique, but
Vault 95 Survivor for $1. Lyrics for Jay to sing, and it stirs up emotions deep down inside, like when Ripa found out Sean Connery died.
Pretty good.
Let's see. Miami Doug and Rebel says Dave is one of the only good things for Star Wars and his buddy that helps with directing. I disagree completely. And then says he was on a leash though by them. The Ahsoka series is literally Dave Filoni's wet dream. It's exactly what he wanted to do. There's no leash. Yeah. There's nothing that was off limits. He did exactly what he wanted to do. This dude's only got promotion since he's been at Lucasfilm under Kathleen Kennedy. I wish people would stop pretending. I know that's an old lie that got spread around years ago about all this fucking conflict, and they're trying to take over and usurp Kathleen Kennedy. Like at this point in time, I think everybody should see that that's not the case. That Dave Filoni's on board. He just continues to get more promotions, and he's doing exactly what he wants to do. There's no fucking leash. Ahsoka is exactly what he wanted to do, and it was a fucking hot mess. So that's how I feel. Sir Hat for 2. What happened to Jay's hair? What's going on with
haircut?
that?
I don't know. Got a haircut.
It does look like kind of messy.
So
like he just took off a hard hat or something.
Yeah, I got a haircut yesterday, so I don't have to worry about it when like MegaCon and all these things come around in the next few weeks.
Well, you're gonna need a haircut by then.
Nah,
I'll probably need a haircut by MegaCon.
I'm a slow growth.
My hair goes pretty fucking quick.
Anyway.
Yeah, my hair goes pretty fucking quick. I get one once a month. Every 4 weeks, I'm in there.
I'm about that's about right.
Grandmaster
so 10th, you know, so it's like the 10th. So it'll get to after MegaCon. I'll cut it again. But I think I'm going to Canada like the next week. I think we're going to Ontario or Toronto. I don't know. One of them.
Grandmaster Chris, member for 8 months. The Rey movie's going to flop harder than a fat chick at the beach. Under Disney, Star Wars can never go up. Hi, Ryan and Jay. Can't wait for Dune 2. Dune 2, probably my most highly anticipated movie of 2024. March, baby. March. Tobias Nexus for 5. What I'm trying to do is put the podcast audio over muted gameplay and put it together as one video. Figured the podcast could use some visual fun. Yeah, all you got to do is add in the video, take the volume all the way down, or if there's a mute function or whatever, that's fine too, and then overlay your audio on there. Pretty easy. Maga Sandra, member for 9 months. No Ray, Jose. Good thing MegaCon will bring all of us together. All hail to 199. Thank you, Sandra. We'll see you there. Lower Lips Liquor. I love that name. For 2. Ryan, whose signatures are almost BB. Whose signatures are almost BB? I don't understand. You get that?
Don't ask me.
Bubba 45, member for 2 months. Jay, aliens in Miami.
Yeah. Listen, if you've ever been to that mall, you see a lot of weird stuff, especially at night. So people were saying that they were reported of 10-foot tall people running around that mall. That's why there was such a big police presence. But I don't buy it, man. It's Miami. It's a interesting place in town. So, you know, did you hear about that story at all?
Oh yeah,
basically, there's a bunch of kids beating people up with bats.
Yeah, when I heard this story, I said it sounds like some urban teens got into a fight at a mall.
It's exactly what the police are saying. But
yeah, weird.
I've been to that mall before. It's you see a lot of fun. That's like going to Walmart at 3 a.m.
let's see. Default for 199. Did you guys talk Cat Williams yet? I haven't really talked about it. I've seen bits and pieces of that interview.
Yeah, I haven't seen the whole interview yet.
Some of it seems worth listening to. Some of it doesn't. To be honest, just based on the clips I've seen, eventually I'll sit down and watch the whole thing. But
I've been watching, like, Ice Cube came out and kind of defended him a little bit. And then some of these other people, I guess the names that he mentioned, they're like doing responses. So kind of seen some of it. But yeah, I haven't watched the whole interview.
I'll get to it at some point. But John Papa Sergio for $5. I think J.J. Abrams got more backlash when he announced for Force Awakens than Patty Jenkins did for Rogue Squadron. I don't remember that. I don't remember too much backlash to J.J. for Force Awakens. But like, if you want to talk about backlash for Star Wars, has anyone received more backlash for their directing job than Rian Johnson? I don't think so. Like, so the idea that it's only women that are getting criticized. Shut the fuck up. If Lucasfilm came out today and was like, "Hey, we're finally moving forward with Rian Johnson's trilogy," you don't think that there would be a massive fucking backlash for him, a white dude? Come on.
Yeah, I agree, dude. We were digging up Rian Johnson clips from when he was like 19. Like just saying, never let him have it again. Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah, like there was like clips of him that looked like it was taken with like a fucking video camera. He just popped the fucking tape in there. Where he's like, yeah, I really want to, I don't want everybody to come out happy. I want half the people to come out loving it and half people hating it. He's like laying on the ground somewhere.
No,
like it looks like it looks like it was filmed in 1991. Like we're pulling that shit for Rian Johnson.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yep. And using that clip, I know I use that clip 100 times.
Yep. I see Yellow Flash said that Ludacris responded by showing all the wealth he made by wearing a dress to the Cat Williams stuff. Yeah. Let's see. D's Webos for 199. Roka was one of the reasons Collider died. I didn't even watch that shit back in the day. I was not like a fan of that stuff. I wasn't watching it. I know a lot of people like Jeremy used to watch that stuff a lot, like Collider Movie Talk and the Jedi Council, whatever the fuck that show was called.
Yeah.
I was not into that. So, Jack Hudson, member for 19. Hail GNG. Will there be another meetup like MegaCon later in the year? Not here in Florida. We'll probably do Vegas. We'll do Vegas, but those are the only other like kind of confirmed ones. Vegas in April or whatever. But not in Florida. Ministry of Wrong Thing for 5. Go rewatch the clip of the guy freaking out and telling men to grab your balls and man up. He was literally responding to a woman's super chat. That's fucking funny if he was responding to a female.
Oh my gosh, that makes it so much better.
That's pretty funny. Lower lips liquor for 2. Oh, baseball's next to you. Oh. So who are the signatures? So I've got Trevor Hoffman.
Okay.
So I got Trevor Hoffman. I've got Ryan Sandberg. I've got Fergie Jenkins. I've got Travis Wood. So, yeah. I'm a Cubs guy. So my Travis Wood is actually a World Series ball. He was a pitcher on the Cubs when they won the 2016 World Series. Ryan Sandberg, Fergie Jenkins, obviously Hall of Famers. Yeah. And then Trevor Hoffman. Trevor Hoffman, I was one of the first people after he got inducted in the Hall of Fame to get him to sign my ball, actually, which is pretty cool.
Actually, it wasn't a World Series. It was I went to the Marlins Cubs playoff.
NLCS.
Yeah. Yep. I had the worst seats ever. Like you literally couldn't see the ball. It's like so high up, but you just were, you were there. And then I went to the game where Bobby Bonilla, is that how you say his name? Like
Bobby
cracked. Yeah, he won that World Series for him with that dinger. It was great. It was like, God, what inning was that? Was it 6th or 7th inning? Something like that. He put him back in the game, and they won.
Bobby Bonilla.
Bobby Bonilla, yeah.
Bobby Bonilla had a crazy fucking contract where he got paid for like 20 years.
Yeah, was it the Mets or something? Like
from the Mets. This is correct, these Webos. It's Ryan, not Ryan. Yes, Ryan Sandberg. I don't really know I've never heard that name before or since, but yes, it's Ryan Sandberg. But when you say it fast, it just kind of sounds like Ryan Sandberg. So it doesn't really matter. We got to talk a little bit, Jay. We've got I don't know if you've heard, Jay, but there's a new Marvel show coming out. And they believed in it so much that they decided to not do weekly release, just drop the entire thing all at once. In fact, they believed in the Ekko series so much that they decided that they actually didn't want anyone talking about it before the minute it came out. The review embargo for Ekko will be lifted at the same time of the show's release, which will be at 9 p.m. Eastern, January 9th. Now, oftentimes you can see reviews that get held. If it gets held to like 24 hours before and it releases like the day before, you know that clearly the studio's worried about some of the responses. They're worried about the critical reception. The fact that they're not lifting the embargo until the moment it comes out is fucking wild. And it tells us that a lot of the things we've heard in the past couple months and years about this series are probably absolutely accurate. That they tried to cancel it, that they reshot almost the entire thing, that they initially planned for it to be more episodes. They had to cut it down just because they had so much shit out there, and that Kevin Feige could not cancel it because they bragged about having a woman, indigenous, amputee, deaf person as the lead role in this series. They virtue signaled so hard they couldn't get out of it. And now they're doing everything they can to convince people to go see this shit, including saying, hey, guess what? We've got a bunch of cameos, Jay. Isn't that what people are so excited for? What we want more of in Marvel shows and movies? Marvel's Ekko director attempts to drum up interest in Disney Plus series by teasing a number of cameos.
Drum them up.
Everything we've seen in this, it's a lot of it has been, yes. I decided to pause it right there. I thought that was accurate. Right there. I'm deaf. It looks like a very compelling character who really emotes well. Right? It looks like she don't give a fuck about anything.
No. I mean, why would they even care at this point? Like, if they're gonna release it all at the same time, who cares about the embargo? Like, they just listen. I will say this: the first teaser trailer that they dropped didn't look terrible, but it was all about Kingpin. Like, that was that's what looked awesome of the show. So the fact that
this is a character nobody cares about.
Yeah,
it's all being carried by Kingpin and Daredevil like references. Yeah. That's like, to your point, that's what it was all about.
I wonder how. I'm assuming if she she uses sign language, I'm sure it'll be all closed caption. So
I think so.
But I wonder if the fight scenes, they decided to try something different and just make it like her, like what she hears or what senses activate, you know?
Oh, I 1000 believe that there's going to be a lot of different points in time where you just hear nothing except like a low ringing and maybe some muffled noises. 1000% they're going to do that in this show.
Right. Because now you have a deaf, handicapped, indigenous woman who's going to fight a blind man in a fight. I think that's what they were gearing up. It's like, guys, get ready for the ultimate handicap showdown.
Deaf versus blind, baby. Let's go. And like Ekko is like a Daredevil villain, right? But you know, we know what this show is going to be about. We know why it was made. Ekko executive producer Sidney Freeland touts representation was extremely important to series, reveals characters' background and powers were completely changed. They took her powers, which is basically to replicate anything she sees, kind of like Taskmaster, and they changed to her being able to like look back and get in touch with her Native American like ancestors and shit like this. I wonder why they would want to change her powers like that. I wonder why Sidney Freeland would want to change her powers to something like that. I wonder why Sidney Freeland, who is self-described as a Native American and transgender filmmaker, would want to change her powers and make them something that has more to do with her identity, her indigenous heritage, than with the actual comic book powers. Just a big mystery. I don't know. Also, sorry. Chris Arcella. Yes. It was made for the hearing impaired. The series is made for you, Chris.
Sorry. I love Chris. I'm just saying. But Chris is hearing it.
You're not even going to have to turn the closed caption one on for this, Chris. You're going to be good.
I'd rather see, like, you know what? You know the big missed opportunity here? Sorry. I'm going to get in trouble for this, but I don't care. The big missed opportunity is they should have... You know that Spider-Man comic book with Spider-Man in the wheelchair flying around? Why couldn't they put that Spider-Man in? Like, is it a girl too? I don't know. Gay? I don't, whatever. There's a gay Spider-Man in a wheelchair in a comic book that's like zipping around with the chair.
They need to go all in. This should just be the handicap representation show.
Sorry, I'm trying to get through this. They should have put that, and that would have been the ultimate. And you know what? While they're at it, go get my friend Ricky that's in Canada. You know, the crippled kid that makes all the jokes.
Ricky Berwick?
Yeah, put Ricky Berwick in as well as like something, like make him have a cameo. Just dump it all in at the same time. Forgive me.
God, I love this freeze frame. I'm deaf. Dead face. No expression. This actually looks for pretty much every time you see her when she's not like fighting somebody, I think. So
forgive me. Guys, if I can't laugh at stuff, I'm sorry, man. Anyway.
But it is obvious they know it's going to be a nightmare. They're releasing on Disney Plus and Hulu. They're dropping all 5 episodes at the same time. No reviews allowed until the second it actually airs. They know they have a shitstorm on their hands. They just hope they're going to drop it all. People shit on it for about a week and forget about it. That's Marvel's hope in this thing. Another woke nightmare, all based on wanting to have more representation and diversity instead of actually tell a compelling story.
I think what will happen is she'll eventually, I guess she'll probably end up turning to be a good person, like a hero, and then they'll use her in probably one of the upcoming Young Avengers film or something like that, and they could keep this character around. It's actually brilliant on them, I guess, in a certain point of view. They could keep this Ekko character around as their permanent diversity marker in all the rest of their films moving forward. It's kind of like, look, we want to make a good movie, but we gotta have at least one in there. So let's get Ekko. Let Ekko make an appearance so we can cover all our bases in one shot. So I think that's what they're gonna do. Why not?
Wesley for $5 over on Rumble. My favorite part of the fight scene is when she holds the shotgun in front of her body with both hands and there's no kickback.
Yeah.
My favorite part is when Daredevil kicks it and he's like 2 feet away from it, yet still it goes flying away. That fight scene, I can't believe they put that out as like a promotional
I thought it was a practice, like a, hey, you know how they do those films where it's like the making of, and they'll show they'll show people practicing. They did that with some of the Star Wars films. They show them like walking through, the fight scenes and stuff like that back in the prequel era. And like, that's what I thought it was. I was like, there's no way they're going to put this in the show. Like, there's no way. They've got to add something to it. So, but I guess we'll see January 9th.
Rogue Attraction in chat says Ekko's upset she didn't have any casino money. Jesus. Brando the Jedi, member for 3 months. John Schnepp was the reason I enjoyed watching AMC Movie Talk. I know Chris Gore talks a lot about John and how they were good friends. Brando the Jedi with a gifted membership. Thank you, Brando. Yanks fan for 5. Jay was the one to tell Bartman to try to catch the ball. Probably fucking was. Gary's Beard Crabs for 5. The Ekko fight promo reminds me of a Cartman quote. Cripple fight. Hail the 199, the Fellowship, and ban Jay.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, it looks like we're about all caught up right as we hit the 1 hour mark. Jay, what do you got going on, man?
Today is Monday, so probably after CobraCast, I think I'll be hoping hosting the Geeks and Gamers game Monday night gaming stream. So that we'll look forward to that. I think it starts like around 10. We've been starting them a little later because of the Cobra Cast that's happening, and then a lot of MegaCon planning. Honestly, making sure that all that's taken care of, because at the end of the day, it's really awesome when everybody comes together. It's we have a fantastic time. It's a lot of work, but it's a fantastic time to meet everyone, people that we've never met before, but we've seen in the chat, and they're like, "Hey, I'm so and so. Hey, I'm so and so." It's like, okay, that's pretty awesome. So, looking forward to all that stuff that's happening.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. 3.5 weeks, right? 3.5 weeks.
Yeah, it'll hit quick.
So I'm telling you guys, if you're thinking about it, if you're hesitant, if you don't know, I've never been to one of these before, should I go? Go. It's gonna be a lot of people. Right. And we're gonna have a big presence there. Not only at MegaCon, but also be doing stuff outside of there as well, which we'll announce, relatively soon. As soon as we get all locked down.
Tickets are selling fast. Hotels are filling up, man. I spoke to Valiant Renegade, and he's actually going to be there too. And he was looking for hotel information, and like the 3 places that I had picked, they were all booked up. So
listen, there's no lack of fucking hotels in Orlando.
Right,
you might not be as close as you want to be or whatever, but there's a lot of shit. So, but yeah, man, they are filling up though. Fucking Pro Bowl, of course, dude. I would love to go to the fucking Pro Bowl, and of course, it's like happening the same week MegaCon is. So, fuck me in the ass, I guess. That's how it works. It's like I can't. It's like always fucking something, dude. Like I can never have what I want. Master Bait with a gifted membership. Thank you, Master Bait. Thank you. Other than that, yeah, just more stuff. We're gonna keep grinding out content on all of our channels, and we'll be back tomorrow. Jay and Jeremy tomorrow, right?
Who knows? Could be me and Dan Vax. All I know.
Yeah, it could end up being fucking bunch of random people. You never quite know what to expect. But I think it's supposed to be you and
it's supposed to be me and Jeremy.
Yeah.
Which means I got to find all the topics, and he'll just go, well, Titanfall 2.
There you go. There you go. We'll see what happens. But thank you guys for hanging out. Appreciate you guys over here and on Rumble. Got over 400 people watching us on Rumble, and we had almost 3,000 people on YouTube. So we appreciate you guys. Go get Jay's Mickey Mouse shirt. And we will talk to you later. Peace.